always weight by volume. Density is always weight by volume. So when I am talking about bulk unit weight, it is also defined as total weight per volume. Total weight per volume. Okay, total weight per volume. So also known as wet unit weight or total unit weight. So when I am saying bulk, it can be called as wet or total unit weight. Okay, it is simple one. So when I am talking about dry unit weight, see that was wet one. But when I am talking about the dry unit weight, it is defined as weight of solids by volume. Because as I am saying dry, here we cannot consider the wet part of the soil. So we are only considering the dry part, that is soil and air. And we know weight of the air is 0, negligible. We studied this in the phase diagram. So we are only considering the weight of solids with respect to volume. Only thing we have to remember is density is equals to weight by volume. From this we will be getting the entire like for all things, the weights. First the bulk unit weight, second is the dry unit weight. Bulk is also called wet or total unit weight. Okay, and next we are having saturated unit weight. So saturated unit weight is gamma sat. So for this we will take weight of the saturated soil divided by the volume. Okay, and when I am talking about submerged unit weight, it will be submerged. So it is represented as gamma dash. So gamma dash is equals to weight of the submerged soil divided by volume. Okay, and based on the Archimedes principle, remember that gamma submerged is equals to saturated unit weight minus water unit weight. Okay, so when I am talking about the soil solids, like unit weight of soil solids, this will be generally asked, very rarely asked, but you have to be remembering this. So this is again weight of solids by volume of solids. So when I'm talking about solids particularly, this will be weight of solids by volume of solids. Okay, so here we have studied first the bulk unit weight. Bulk is also called wet or total, and next we have studied dry unit weight, and then we have studied saturated. For saturated is saturated weight. For submerged it is submerged weight. So when we know in some questions in short forms they'll be asking what is the saturated weight of the soil if the submerged unit weight is this much. So in that case we know what is the unit weight of water, right? So in that we'll be subtracting this value or adding this value. We'll be using this equation to solve the third unknown value. If we know two values, what will be the third unknown? We'll just be substituting that in this value. Okay, in the next video we'll be understanding